When you're neurodivergent, you grow up, you get the sense that you're different before you know you're actually neurodivergent or you know you're different.
When I go into a new class or I start with a new group of people, I often get this feeling like I'm not supposed to be here.
I felt like I had to try really, really hard just to get the same results as everybody else who seemed like they weren't trying.
My fourth grade teacher telling my parents his engine does not match his horsepower.
I was grouped into categories that have very derogatory terms associated with them.
My mom opened the door and she said, "How's it going?" And I said, "I can't get started." And I actually burst into tears.
When I showed up at college, I was not proud of my neurodiverse identity. In fact, I think somewhere along the lines, I learned that I was supposed to hide this identity. I was told that I had a learning disability. And if you've met any kid, or if you remember when you were a kid, your job is to learn. So that is not an empowering message.
If I'm having a conversation with someone, my eyes do not stare at people. They dart everywhere.
It's hard to put into words just how many doors I felt closed for me, and nobody had closed those doors themselves. It was just like a future that I had imagined for myself was no longer there.
Fast forward just a couple of decades, the young people started saying, hey, wait a second, I don't know about this learning disability thing, but I definitely think differently. I like this idea of neurodiversity. It feels exciting and empowering.
And it shifts their entire paradigm of the world themselves and how they fit into it and what the world can become.
During my first internship with Lockheed Martin, I kind of marketed myself as saying I will thrive with whatever chaos is on the factory floor.
I believe dyslexia helped me look at things with a different perspective. In skiing, if you look at problems differently, it gives you a creative approach.
So I founded this organization almost 3 decades ago when I was 18 years old. My dorm room was about a mile from a local elementary school. Very ADHD impulsively, I just took off, went to the school. I didn't have an appointment. I was like, I just know I'd like to hang out with some young people and tell them a story about the fact that I'm in college and that they can too. So in one fell swoop, we created a program. I'm on a mission to create a world where young people who are neurodivergent, dyslexic, ADHD on the spectrum, never feel alone. I'm neurodivergent, and I grew up on an island of one, and I learned that 1 in 5 people learn and think differently, so I wanted to create a world where all folks could be included. When you look at how we operate, if you visit any of our sites, the people you see standing up in front of the classroom are not people that look like me. We are run by and for young people, and they often come from the very communities that they're serving.
I heard about the Neurodiversity Alliance, and I wanted to be involved from the moment I found out about it. It gave me more opportunities than I can count. It gave me confidence. It gave me something to be passionate about.
We just have a shared dream of being chapter leaders as well as leading and hosting the ND Alliance at our school.
When folks are a part of the Neurodiversity Alliance, they can take off their masks. They can succeed, not in spite of how their brains work, but because of how their brains work.
Neurodiversity is not being recognized just as like a deficit-minded approach, but instead we're looking at people for the strengths that they have. Things like pattern recognition, empathy, creativity, the ability to be like really resilient, but also like really adaptable.
I'm awesome at multitasking. I'm good at figuring out things with computers because I love figuring out how things work, how things are built together.
ADHD is my superpower.
They're like friendships at like the nervous system level. That's how I know it's working.
Do you remember when you told me I'd never hold down a job if I'm like this? And I wouldn't get out of the car, 'cause it felt like an elephant just on my chest.
I grew up feeling like wildly alone. And the fact that there's a place that they can come and not feel that, that's all that matters to me.